Are you wondering what you need to do after taking antibiotics for bacterial vaginosis? Well, I'm here to tell you I'm your biomedical engineering big sister who studies female reproductive health, and something that is left out of the conversation so many times is the concept around probiotics, because I think when we have bacterial vaginosis, on the surface what we understand is that it's an overgrowth of bacteria, and that's all true. Yes, it is an overgrowth of bad bacteria, and yes, killing this overgrowth is very, very important. And some people take that approach holistically with things like boric acid, and then some people go the medical route and take things like antibiotics. Both options are great, although I always tell people you should opt for antibiotics so long as you aren't resistant. So a resistance test is super, super important to make sure that the antibiotics you are prescribed actually works for you, and you can combine that with boric acid in case you have a biofilm to degrade that biofilm with boric acid and then support the killing of this bad bacteria with antibiotics. So that methodology is super important, and it's great. Killing that overgrowth and that bad bacteria is great, but the core issue with bacterial vaginosis, and at its root what BV is a microbial imbalance where you have a deficiency of lactobacillus, and that is what's left out of the conversation. People say, oh, it's an infection, it's a bacterial overgrowth, and yes, it is, but this bacterial overgrowth doesn't happen when you have lactobacillus, the good bacteria that naturally lives in your vagina, thriving and dominating. The issue with BV is that something, whether that's stress, whether that was antibiotics for another infection, whether it's hormonal imbalances, something has caused you to lose good bacteria in your vagina. Losing this good bacteria now can trigger and allow the bad bacteria that naturally lives in this ecosystem to overgrow, flourish, and cause an infection. So while yes, this bad bacteria has overgrown and you need to focus on killing it, you need to bring back the good guys, because that's therapeutically going to keep the bad guys in check, because that's why you got BV to begin with, because you had a deficiency of lactobacillus. So even if you reduce these bad guys with antibiotics, boric acid, whatever method you take, the good guys still aren't there, and BV is just going to come back. And that's why so many people have recurring BV after boric acid suppositories, after antibiotic therapy, because the final and arguably most important part of probiotic supplementation is left out of the conversation, and that bad bacteria can regrow and arise all over again because you never fundamentally corrected the microbiome with the good bacteria that it needs.